now fell silent except for an occasional woman's startled cry. This was how the audience always reacted. Lizzy saw one of the other trick riders racing out to pick up her discarded articles of clothing. Freed of impediments, Lizzy slipped her foot into one of the special straps on her custom-made saddle and went into a layover, looking as if she would fall headfirst off the saddle. From this point on, she didn't hear the crowd or pay them any attention. Her act required her full attention. Since she was a little girl, Lizzy had performed tricks on horseback. Her father and uncle had been part of Buffalo Bill Cody's Wild West show. They'd joined up in 1883 when their friend William Cody had decided to put together his famous show. Lizzy's mother had been needed to help with cooking for the crew, and naturally that meant bringing Lizzy along. Lizzy had grown to adulthood under the show's influence, performing her first tricks with the help of her father when she was just 12. Every winter they'd gone home to Grandfather Brookstone's ranch in Montana to rest and plan new tricks. It was an unusual life, to be certain, but one Lizzy enjoyed, probably because her father loved it so. "You are the very heart of me, Lizzy," her father had often told her. "You and your mother. Without either one of you, I'm not sure I could go on." But he had never considered how they might go on without him. Earlier that year, Mark Brookstone had suffered a heart attack. He had lingered for several hours after the initial onset, and during that time, he had made his wishes known before dying in the arms of his beloved wife. Lizzy's body shifted in the wrong direction. "Focus on what you're doing or you'll get yourself killed." She pushed the memory aside. Focus was key to not getting hurt. She went into a trick that put her upside down along the horse's neck. The gelding didn't even seem to notice and continued to gallop around the arena. The audience applauded, now understanding that Lizzy's situation was quite under control. Lizzy swung back into the saddle and gave a wave. The crowds went wild with cheers and the fluttering of the colorful Brookstone Wild West Extravaganza pennants they'd purchased. She performed various moves for nearly 20 minutes, wowing the crowds with layovers, saddle spins, and shoulder stands, then ending with a death-defying drag that put her upside down, her hair and hands sweeping the floor of the arena. The people loved it. They were on their feet, cheering and whistling. The applause was thunderous as she reclaimed her seat and rode out of the arena. The other 9 performers for the show were waiting on horseback. Lizzy's was the final performance, but now the entire troupe would go out to take their bows. Lizzy positioned Longfellow while the others made their way out to the cheers of the audience. They lined up the horses, and each rider raised her hand high as the horses bowed. An old man rushed to Lizzy's side, holding up a flag. With quick action, she secured the straps over her feet and took the unfurled cloth. She returned to the arena, standing in the saddle and hoisting an American flag as she circled the ring. It was hard to imagine possible, but the cheers grew even louder. Lizzy smiled and waved the symbol of America back and forth just as her father had taught her. "People love a good finish, Lizzy. Give them a surprise and something to cheer, and they'll never forget you." Longfellow headed out of the arena once again with the other riders following close behind. The audience continued to cheer and clap. As usual, no matter how much the performers gave, the audience wanted more. Lizzy pulled off to the side, and the same older man who had given her the flag now retrieved it. "Thanks, Zeb. I'm sure glad that's over." Lizzy had pushed herself nearly beyond endurance, having given a private performance for the president and his friends earlier in the day. She was tired and sore, and relieved that her obligations were concluded. She could feel in Longfellow's gait that he was, too. "Wonderful performance, Lizzy," August Reichert declared, taking hold of Longfellow's bridle. "You were amazing." "Thanks." She smiled at the sandy-haired head wrangler, who was the brother of her dear friend Mary. He had once tried to pay her court, but Lizzy had kept everything professional. She had no interest in losing her heart to anyone.